so misty today. I think I really thought this through enough. There's too many cars in this road to longboard on the road itself, so I've got to like walk on the pavement. God damn it, ladies and gentlemen. So, good morning. What's going on today? We are heading over to UWE Library. It's been a while since I've been there. About half a year ago, I would be going to this library because we didn't have internet connection at home. Now I'm going to it because I feel like it's a bit of an experiment. I feel like I might be more productive while I'm there. So I've decided I'm going to longboard there and longboard back for lunch. And that kind of like acts as more of a splitter up of the day as well. So yeah, that's the plan, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to go and do my dissertation. So I've been home, well, this morning, got up, sorted out my daily vlog, all that kind of crap. And now we're going to go do some work. A lot of these roads are quite hilly. Jesus Christ. Whoa. I still get quite scared of going down hills. It's the lack of having a brake, I think, that scares you. Also, this ground's really bloody bumpy. It's going to be difficult to longboard on this, man. Only really works on the cycle path, this thing. I definitely concede to the fact that longboards probably have a really limited use case. Look at how lovely this weather is, ladies and gentlemen. What a shame to be inside in the library. Such beautiful longboarding weather, and I'm stuck inside in the library. But not currently, because I am heading on home. I'm starting to lose focus. I've had a really productive morning, but I am starting to lose it now. This van's in the way. Basically, like, the library doesn't have a working water cooler, so I'm really thirsty. Watching all these bloody curbs and stuff is really irritating. This is where an electric bike would come much more useful. But yeah, it's been really productive, but I'm starting to get to, it's about 12:30 now, and I'm starting to get to the point where I'm quite losing focus a little bit. Well, I'm not massively hungry, but I'm hungry enough to eat, and I'm definitely thirsty enough to have a drink, so I'm gonna head back. But yeah, I've done a good like 2,000, 3,000-ish words, and a good like 5 or so pages, because I've done a lot of diagrams and tables and stuff in LaTeX, so all good stuff. Let's go. It's mostly uphill on the way back, so there's that to worry about in this roasting weather. It's so warm. One bit that was really bumpy as well is the bit that's most bloody, the downhill bit is the most bumpy bit, so it's really, like, it's hard to longboard on. They do have the downsides, these boards. They are ever so much fun. So, yeah, they're really niche. Like, you have to live in certain areas and have access to certain things and have to go certain ways for them to become useful compared to a bike, I think. And I mean, you can get electric bikes for the same price as a booster board anyway. But you can't get bikes as cheap as this was. So there's that too. And some windows in this flat though. Christ, it's warm. What's for dinner tonight? Fish. Does that mean the fish hasn't been frozen? Yeah, it does. It's not sweet and sour. The chicken hasn't been frozen either. Pay attention, Jamie. Right, back. It's really warm outside, and really warm in this flat as well. I've opened up all the, well, not all the windows, but most of the windows. Also got a fucking huge Amazon box. I don't know what I've ordered that is going to be this big. I think I know what it is. I think it's a tool for my longboard, but I don't think it needs to be this big. So we'll see, won't we, ladies and gentlemen? We will see. Let's pop this on charge for a bit. Thing is, with my dissertation, right? Hey Graham, how's it going? You're not happy that I've opened the windows? She's running away from me for some reason. The problem I'm having with my dissertation is it's taking me a lot longer than I think it should to get this done. I mean, it's not taking me longer, like, I can still finish. I'm still going to finish in time. The problem is being able to finish in time with enough chance to circulate a first draft to people. Like tomorrow I'm sending my first draft to my supervisor, and essentially, when you boil it down, I've done more or less, like, the lit review and the introduction are all done. The requirements I need to pull over from somewhere else where I've done them in a different document, but I just need to pull them over. And then it's a case of design, which is mostly done in the previous sections as well, implementation details, testing, and results. Like, they're the things that we need to do. and I've obviously only done like 2 of them. So it looks like I've done less than half, even though the things I've done so far are more than half work-wise, because I've got to go through and it's all research. So it's like implementation stage. It's literally just going to be like bang, bang, bang. This is what if this. This is the problems I face. This is how I came over them. Bang, 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 and it will fly through that. But like tomorrow, I'm not really going to have anything apart from the critical lit review stuff. So I've started to get stressed, essentially, about getting things done in time, so that I can get enough feedback from other people. And like yesterday, I said to Lewis at uni, I said like, I kind of wish I finished the program earlier so I could write the report earlier, or wish I'd spent more time on the report earlier than I have done. But I've basically worked full time on the project. Like, either A, there was no way of making the project finish earlier than it currently has done, and therefore by spending more time on the report earlier, then the code wouldn't be finished. So I'd have problems there instead. So I feel like I'm just biting the bullet of having such a big project that I'm feeling like I'm under pressure to finish. And maybe most of it is down to the fact that like in the evening, I don't really work in the evenings, I kind of work in the day, and I used to work like 24/7. But I'm more productive than I used to be. It's just I'm not productive at writing reports. So either way, over the next couple of weeks and stuff, I've got to drastically cut down on the type of free time I could spend with Laura. It's sad. It's very sad, ladies and gentlemen. Oh God. Oh, why's it wetting me whistle? What's in this bloody big box then? I bet you it's just a load of fucking packing paper and a tool. Never mind, there's a yoga mat for Laura, and for me, a micro muff thing, so that I can give my camera a bit of a hairdo, and so that so there's more windproofing when I'm longboarding. So there we go. We'll do that then while I'm doing my lunch before I head back out, and we can test it out later. Way! Oh dear. So actually, it was such a big box for such a big reason. My tool. I've also ordered a tool that means I can take the wheel and. What am I going to do with this now? Fucking hell. I ordered a tool that means I can take the wheels off of the longboard and lube them up because they squeak a bit. So I need to put some lube in there. But yeah, otherwise these were the other 2 things that I'd ordered. But these weren't scheduled to arrive until like the 19th. It's the 13th today. So I don't know the hell's going on there. Look at this. Look at this. Look, it's like a little. Ha. Although, wait, hold on. Here's what it should be good at. Let me line it up properly. So, if I were to blow on the microphones now, I apologise, ladies and gentlemen. If I go, there's a hideous amount of noise, right? But if I do this and I haven't done it properly and I blow on it, it'll be a lot better. I've always kind of complained about the wind noise on this camera, but it's never really been a problem until I got the longboard. So. Now it means that A, I've got a hat on my camera all the time. Let's have some fucking lunch, Jamie. This is the reason why we went to the library, so that we didn't get distracted by shit like this. Turns out this doesn't fit on my camera, it's too big. And like there's no way of trimming it down to make it look like it'll work because the camera's too narrow for it basically. It just flat out won't work on this camera, unfortunately. Soz guys. It's like a donut thing. It's a bit like a long donut, like that, to go around the speakers. And the donut's not quite wide enough. It'll just block one of them up. But then also it's too fat, so that it's basically the entire width of the entire camera, which isn't good. There's no way I can show you, but it basically means that like there's no way of plugging it. If I trim it, then I've got to trim off one edge of the donut, in which case I'm not blocking wind noise, because wind noise can still get it from that edge. So either way, it doesn't look like it's worked. Amazon hasn't even told me that it's been delivered yet, so I've got to wait until it's been delivered before I can try and take it back. So, although last time I ordered something from Amazon, I wanted to take it back, and they were just like, alright, we'll send you a refund, keep it. What? So if that happens, then I'll put it on this camera, but yeah, like this is what I mean. Look, it works like this in the sense where it like goes around the microphone, but it's not quite, it's too big. It's designed for something like this, obviously not something as small as you. But it fits around that like perfectly. It's just fiddly, I guess. But that is considerably bigger than my camera, lol. To be fair as well, that camera doesn't even bloody need it because it doesn't get used at all. Right, okay, so plan of attack. I've had my lunch. Do we go back to the library or do we stay here for a bit? I was really productive this morning at the library, but the library was quite empty. And as I left, it was starting to fill up, so there's a chance that I go there and then it's like, there's nowhere to go. And I'm quite, well, I'm not necessarily awkward because I don't have to take the longboard, but I'm going to see if I can do some work here. We'll see. If I'm unproductive in like an hour's time, then I'll head over to the library until Laura gets back from work. And ladies and gentlemen, I believe I'm feature rich, so to speak, in the first like 5 chapters of my dissertation. Obviously the way you split it out is a load of rubbish. But essentially what I have now is, let's go find it, I've got 30 pages of like just solid text. It's and about, how many words have I got? 12,000 words at the moment. So the kind of structure I've gone for an introduction which includes, this is everything that I've done so far, okay? Introduction which includes things like, which includes the problem description, a description of what it is that I'm doing, my solution, and how I'm going to go about researching it. I then have design choices, which goes into, I might shift this bit. It doesn't really make much sense there. Design choices, which goes into the system architecture, the development techniques, development programming languages, and supported programming languages, which is something that the programming languages that my system is able to support. I then have required resources, which goes into the things that I need in order to be able to do this, or needed in order to be able to pull out this project. I then went into market research, which covered 2 different systems similar to my own on the market, and tore them apart and basically said like why my system's better in several different ways. I then go into academic research where I investigate both unit testing and mutation testing. I go into the process of defining what unit testing is, defining what good unit testing is, avoiding brittle tests, and analysing different people's attitudes towards testing. I also go into mutation testing where I discuss different types of mutation operators, how to select relevant ones. I've also got object-oriented specific mutation things, and then I've got research into reducing the cost of that. Then we go into other things. So we've got requirements, software architecture design, which doesn't really matter because I've done it up a bit. Then I've got the implementation process, testing, and results and conclusions. I mean, I don't know how long this should be. I feel like the next couple of bits aren't going to be that long, really. Well, no, okay, the implementation process might be quite lengthy because of the sheer quantity of code that I've got that I'm going to go over and like analyze, and I'll go into each section and I'll be like, so in this section I discovered that this was a problem, this was a problem, this was a problem, came about it like this, etc. Otherwise though, the weather's nice, so I'm thinking about going to go meet Laura on the path, because she's walking back today. And the weather's nice, and I can longboard down to her and then walk back with her, which she'll appreciate. But should I spend more time on this? I mean, like, I should, really. I've decided I'm going to go meet Laura. It's 5:30, so like, it's half an hour out of my day. It's because I want to do some work later tonight, so I feel bad for basically wanted to do work later tonight. So I'm going to make it up for her by meeting her on the way back, although she's probably walked over halfway by now. It's time jump, ladies and gentlemen. It is in the evening, night time. It's nearly 11 o'clock. I'm about to head to bed. We've got a long day on campus tomorrow. I am currently, we've had a productive thingy. I longboarded down to Bub, walked up the path with her, and then I went to go do some work. We then went in and did some cooking, came back in here, and I've been sat on my laptop while I've been snoozing. The point now where I'm writing and defining a more concrete set of requirements. I had like a bit of a weird thing where I know of this concept called a golden thread, where you produce a thin thread of functionality through a system, so that you can, like, you produce an end-to-end basically through an entire system that you can then test. And in theory, you could put that into production, but it would only work for like some weird test cases. So when I was producing an aggregator service, we got it so that it would accept everything it would accept everything, but it would only map like so you could hit it with certain stuff, but you would have to have like XYZ things, like you couldn't have any convictions or you couldn't have any claims, because that wasn't part of the golden thread through the system. But that was possible, you could put it into live. Right, so I've got this concept in my head of a golden thread, and I'm trying to figure out what this is actually called in the real world. I don't know what it's called. My system's core requirements, which are required by the end of the project, is essentially a golden thread, because with my project you could literally sit and like, it's 10 different modules. You could take one of them modules and spend an entire 3 years working on that module, and still think of requirements for it. Like, it doesn't have a cap. There's no limit to the size of the project that I've made. So like, the core thread, the golden thread, is the foundation on which the rest of the stuff's built. So, I'm trying to figure out what this is called. I found that some people have this concept of a vertical slice through the entire system, and then you can bulk up the vertical slice. I prefer golden thread, so I went with golden thread, coined it. I will be the first person to publish a paper. Well, I guess it's only published within the university. I don't know how that works actually. I'll be the only first person to publish a paper coining the term golden thread. Christ, if I could find one to I needed one for reference, so I could reference it, and I couldn't find one anywhere. So. But anyway, that's by the by. Otherwise though, ladies and gentlemen, heading to bed. Got a long day tomorrow. Got group meetings as well, which is exciting. Because we've got to do group coursework stuff, but then I've got dissertation stuff as well. It's stressful times. But yeah, long day on campus. But we should be productive, man. Oh god. And then we'll have... Yeah. I'm going to try and get the requirements done by like tomorrow before the group meeting, and then I can fire them off to my supervisor to have like a read through, because he's got a free slot in the afternoon to give us like to hint at how I can progress in the future with my thing and how well I'm doing. Hopefully it's well. I'll catch you later.